Hi, today we'll create a Lollipop chart. Lollipop chart is not an option in the native visuals. It is available in app source, but I thought we can create a Lollipop chart by using a line chart, which is available in the native visual. So first, let us create a new page, name it as Lollipop chart, and bring in the line chart from our native visuals, drag it onto the canvas, and try to resize it. Once we resize it, we can start adding the data to x-axis and y-axis. So I thought x-axis we can add shape so that we can add total sightings onto the y-axis. It's a very simple line chart, so it should not be a complicated thing to create. So add shape to the x-axis, and y-axis I'll add the total sightings. So we have the line chart ready, obviously. So we can see that light has the maximum number of sightings, and also cube has the lowest. So we have that line chart up there, and we can go to the settings and play around with those settings. Let us first try to add markers. So once we add markers to the line chart, we'll see those things appearing. So we can resize the markings up here. We can make the size to 10 pixels so that it looks big and it is pretty visible on the visual. So next step is for us to make sure that we kind of uncheck the series, line chart series here, so that we have only markers visible on the chart. So that's a good start. So we need a column, and the endpoint will be something like that. That is the Lollipop chart, right? So obviously we can now start building the other part of it, right? So as a beginning, we have to create a measure, which is a very simple measure. We need lower bound. So the idea is we want to use the error bars feature in the visual, and we can add error bars so that we have those starting and end points for the bar. So let us create a lower bound measure, which is a very simple measure, because we know that it starts from 0. So let us add the value as 0 to it. It's a very simple measure. So let us try to commit it. And once we committed, we have that lower bound measure available. So let us try to click on the visual and go to the format section, so that once we have the format section, we can try to add those upper bound and lower bound. Already we know that the upper bound is the total sightings. So let us try to go to that and make sure that it is enabled by field, and add upper bound, the value, the measure which we have created in the past videos, that is a total sightings measure. So let us try to add that to the upper bound field. I think we are good there. And similarly, since we have just created a lower bound, we can add that lower bound too. So that way we have 0 to the total sightings. That kind of column is created, right? This is we can play around with the error bars, and we'll try to increase the thickness so that that looks as though it is like a lollipop chart, right? Most of you might have seen the lollipop chart. That is what we are trying to create it by using a line visual. So nothing is showing up because we did not enable the error bars. Once we enable them, now you can see those things appearing, right? So we can increase the width. Like I said, we can, if you increase the width, we can see that popping up. Now it looks almost like a lollipop chart, right? So obviously if someone is seeing this for the first time, they would not notice any difference. They think it's the custom visual, but it's in few steps we could create it, and we can make those changes. We can add the data labels, and we want the data labels above so that we can change that position to above so that it is clearly visible for us. And obviously we'll change the value. We'll instead of auto display units, we can go to none. So obviously this is the lollipop chart, and it look and feel is like that. And the next logical step is for us to add a slicer, right? So that way we have something up there so that we can use the slicer values and do it, try to filter out the lollipop chart. So let us go back to the previous visual and copy that decade bin and paste it on the top. And as usual, we'll not we don't want to sync it, so kind of resize it and try to do all those things, right? Like normally what we do, we try to add the border and all. We can use the format painter and try to add those border thickness and all to the bottom visual too. So let us go ahead and do that. And like I said, we can resize it, and I mean the look and feel part, right? It should look good on the report page. So that is exactly what I'm trying to do. And let me go ahead and do that. If you select any of the slicer values, obviously the line chart, in this case it is we are kind of emulating a lollipop chart, so that any kind of selections there will change. So like I said, we'll use the format painter so that you have some thickness in the shadow for the border, so that way it will pop out. So this is already looking cool. So let us go ahead and let us try to bring that back button from the previous visual, so that whenever we click on that, it will go back to the page navigator. So that way we have a continuous pages. We are trying to build in every video, so that whenever you click on that back button, it will go back to the page navigator. So let us try to look at the visual. It looks good. I think we have just created a lollipop chart, and we'll try to make small changes. We'll try to adjust the title where it should appear, and I think it already it looks good. And in case if you want any kind of look and feel changes, you can go ahead and make the changes. Again, we are verifying that it is not there in the native visual, and if you click on that back button, it is going to the page navigator. I think we are good. In few steps we could create a lollipop chart in Power BI without using any native visuals. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.